Good morning, it's Norma Cowie here, and this morning I'm going to talk a little bit about faith because, as many of you who are regulars watching, we have had a lot of freezing problems. So I took my computer to a computer man, and when I first brought it home, I just wasn't happy with it at all, and not so much the YouTube thing, but just generally. So I took it back. And so we did some more work with it. And then this morning, I'm going to go do my Sunday thought. And the first time it says no live streaming. So I think I might have found where the glitch happens a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see if we are going to. I'm a little earlier than usual because I've got a situation happening in my bathroom. So, yeah, I'm going to tell you what it was because I can't believe it. I saw this gray haze on my bathroom floor, and I'm always dealing a little bit off and on with ants coming in. And then I suddenly realized it was the nest with the ants in it. So I've cleaned up a lot, but there's still some more there. Anyway, so what I'm talking today about having faith, because dealing with the YouTube situation, all that, I tell you, I was beside myself. I was beginning to think I could only do shorts. And if we freeze again and again and again, that's all I'm going to have to do. But anyway, I'm just reorganizing my desk here a little bit. I wanted to talk about faith because if you don't have faith or a belief or an awareness in anything, you don't really complete or finish or carry through or look for alternatives for answers. I was happy with my computer working generally, but not with YouTube. So as I said, I think I might have found where all of this began to happen, but we'll see. After I spend all my dollars. And as you know, if you've ever updated your computer, you have to learn the programs are different sometimes that come in. So, okay, you have a problem. So let's look at just through using the tarot. This is the Six of Swords. This is the boatman. There are 6 swords in this boat, not piercing the bottom because it's not sinking. He's got a woman and a child, and the water is very rough. I got to get my hands right. On the front part of the card, if you look closely, it's rough. So you're coming out of a rough time, and the shoreline is there. So you're working. Water is emotion. So you're working through emotion into the direction of where you're happening and where you're going. I'm just going to put something up here too. Hang on a minute. I'm not quite as organized as I would like to be. There we go. So anyway, so we got a problem, right? Well, one of the things that's really important and a lot of people don't recognize, this is the world. It's in the hierarchy. There's 22 symbols in the hierarchy, and there are really our lessons, our laws and our lessons. And this is about attainment and having it. And what we need to do is we need to balance within ourselves. We need to come at accord. We need to accept that there is a problem, because we can't shift a problem if we don't accept it. If we don't look at it and figure out what do we need to do. Sometimes we've got to be a little bit inspirational about it, sometimes not. But it's all about how to put it together, and very often a lot of us, we think, oh, well, it'll sort itself out, or this just happened. It's not really whatever. So by accepting there's a problem, little higher, little lower arcana card, 6 of Swords, we come into an agreement and balance that there is a problem. But then by having the faith to do what you need to do, we have the sun. Now the sun is movement, because there's a what do you call, stone wall behind this sunflowers, this red flag of truth that he carries. It's a child on a white horse, because this is a new beginning. And this is what I am hoping is going to happen, because of something that happened this morning. It happened the other day when I was trying and we froze. I thought, that's the key. That's what's not working. So we'll see, because if I freeze, forgive me, I'll go nuts, but we'll go in just doing little short segments until we get this sorted out. So most people learn about faith through a religious organization of some kind, somewhere where they go, some form of formalization. It doesn't have to necessarily be a church. It just might be a spiritual. It could be a meditation group. Excuse me. I taught meditation and psychic development for years and years and years in my community that I spent a lot of years in. And what I found is that a lot of people don't really understand how faith works. They seem to think if I pray or if I do whatever the procedure is, then it's going to happen. But the thing is, what you're doing when you're praying is you're changing the viewpoint that you have inside. Because the energies that we are praying to out there, they're not there to know everything. They take it by us. What does our inner self say? And very often we have a lot of doubt. So, because if we didn't have doubt, we wouldn't be looking for the higher power to come in and self-resolve it. But I think it's a matter of accepting that there is a power out there that you can tune into. But what you're also doing is tuning into you, changing your disbelief of why this is happening. Like, what am I doing wrong? How can this be? It's my machine. It's whatever. When I'm trying to deal with all this freezing that was going on for the last 6 weeks or so. So it's like being able to get clarity. And sometimes to have clarity, we've got to sit down, and Monday nights with our mental mind treatments, that's very, very, some people are really saying how much it's helping, which is wonderful. And I agree. I've spent a lot of years in doing mental mind treatments for myself over the years, because it helps shift this, and so that you have faith in the program, because you're connecting with the power. Now, I call it the love source. Some people call it God, Allah. And there's many other names that are out there, So it's not about having a specific name. It's about having a belief and a power that works with you to create what you want. I was telling somebody the other day, actually, that when you want to create something, I am a great believer in the attitude of gratitude. And although I've had miracles happen where I didn't know I was creating something, but it's arrived and it comes and it's happened, and it's like you're not really sure, but you know that you want. So if you have a method like we found with the mental mind treatments or spiritual mind treatments, if you want to call them, or alternative prayer method, is that you know what you want. Now, if you can start, I'm going to tell you a story. I like to share some of the stories that happened with me. I had a situation in my life where many things happened all at the one time, and my daughter died, and my son and I were taking her ashes back to New Zealand, some of her ashes back to New Zealand. And at the same time, I didn't really have a home. I'm staying with a friend, but I wanted my own place. So I was away 6 weeks. I think it was 6 weeks we were away. We're definitely a month. I think it might have been 6 weeks. Anyway, the whole time I was away, every morning and every night, I would give thanks for having a place to live in. Now, I always lived looking at the water, and I really wanted that. But, sometimes the higher power knows what's best for you. And so when I came back from this holiday, now, every morning and every night, I went into gratitude of having a place to live. I added a sea view, which I do not have. But what I do have is more perfect for me. Because to get a sea view, I'd have to be in one of those big apartments that's high. You would have to go up in an elevator or down or whatever. I am right on in a single, there's not many of these apartments. I got the last one that was available. It's on the ground. I can walk back and forth. I now use a walker a lot because between the cancer and my arthritis, I don't walk as well as I should. I'm doing better, but it's like I just walk out. I've got I've got everything I need and require. But gratitude, morning and night, just taking 2 seconds. Well, it's more than seconds. It's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Just connecting and giving thanks. And that's when the miracles happen. And what happens when you live like that, even though you don't know what you may be needing or requiring, the universe does. And if you're open and you're grateful for whatever it brings to you, that's when other miracles happen. And that's what's happened in my life. And several times I've talked about different things that have happened. But it's like having that faith that that energy is there working for you. For you. It's not there to make things worse for you, although sometimes it appears that way. But sometimes we have to look at something squarely to clear it out of the way in order to begin to achieve what we want or what we're asking for. And I find that also when people ask, when I've worked in groups where we have them write out, what's your prayer? What's your request? What are you wanting? And very often they're not very clear. And the clearer you can be, is better. Now, I've learned, as I did with my apartment, which I'm still in, by the way, is that the apartment I got was the highest and best for me. And I always add the highest and best for myself. Because I used to say, I know it all. I don't know it all. I know kind of what I want here, but that may not be for my highest and best. Now, I want you to think about this. This is, again, where faith works. When you request your highest and best, I used to say often when I was teaching this was, say the highest and best, and then I duck. And why would I duck? Because something would come into my life that I had to deal with to get out of the way and clear it. So it's like when you begin to recognize it all, if you know anything about the subconscious mind, anything that's in that subconscious mind is going to represent itself into the external world. And that's why I've done a lot of work over the years, transforming people's energy. And also just last year, I think it was, the year before, I was showing how to actually unplug programs from the subconscious mind. That was nice. I was showing that. But it's like having the program shift and change. So it's really much, what are we looking at when we're wanting to create? How do you think? What are you really wanting? Do you have faith that somehow that could show up? Because if you don't have faith, it's going to show up. That's what I find a lot of people. Oh, yeah, I really want this. And they'll go through the formula, but they don't really believe it. Because they cannot envision that something could change, excuse me a sec, the circumstances around them changing. But sometimes to get what you really want, the circumstances around you has to change. And that's, again, where a lot of people get hung up. A lot of people get totally hung up. And for some reason, I didn't bring water again. After not doing anything too much for a few days, I'm kind of a little out of sync here. I forgot to bring water over because my voice gets a little hoarse because I'm projecting it so to make it go out. Anyway, Freya's feet put something here. She said, "You were born to serve me." Don't know about that. You were born to, I realize, yeah, it's a Christian thing. You were born to worship me and to be my slave on your knees. Now, no, I don't agree with that at all. We are just here walking the plane. I really, isn't that interesting? I wonder where you're from, because those ideas I don't agree with. So I want to be very aware. I'm not aware of it. I do not like this. You co-create your world. It's not like you just take whatever is there and be happy for whatever. You co-create. You will put out because of what's in your subconscious mind. And if you're like me and you believe in reincarnation, you will believe that you've had lifetimes before and you've made decisions, and those decisions are still being acted out in this life. And so a lot of it is, that's why the boatman, right? He's got his problems, but he's taking care of them. He's working towards them. He knows he has all the answers. He has faith, he has belief, he has everything. And therefore, his world can go in a very, very, very new directions. And it's happened to me too many times when that's happened, when it seems like I'm looking at a wall and I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm going to do next, because life took a sort of turn. Some of it my own fault, for sure, but often not, just like circumstances. After all, we're in a world where everyone has their own idea, their own belief, their own awareness of where, when, and how. So I want you to think about your faith level. Do you have a faith level? Do you trust? Do you open up? Do you put your suggestions out there? If you want something, begin to ask in gratitude. Give thanks. I give thanks for receiving. Name what it is. Morning and night for 6 weeks. A lot of people forget the magic of 6 weeks. It's a pattern. To change a pattern, very often you have to do something for 6 weeks. And yes, you can do it for longer, but a lot of people say, 3 weeks is good enough. Didn't find that myself. No. You've got to lay a pattern of belief in yourself, in the awareness of where you're heading and where you're going. So for 6 weeks. So give it a go. See, think about, what would I like to create for myself? Not something that you can go out and just create it. Put it out there to see if your faith is working, if you're connected, if you believe in the love energy, as I do, that this will bring this. Now, sometimes nothing happens. I will agree. Sometimes it's like you ask for something and it doesn't show up. Okay, what do you need to change? Do you need to change viewpoint? Do you need to just know this is not for you at this time? Doesn't mean it won't be sometime, but it's always about the end result. What is the end result you really want? Peace and love and etc. Anyway, we need no freezing. I moved my table a little bit. No freezing at this point. We've gone nearly 18 minutes. So it makes me feel really good for Monday night with mental mind treatments. And I might put some shorts up too, actually. But now I got to take care of that bathroom floor. And I'm just almost freaking out what's on this floor. I don't know if anyone else has ever seen this gray mass moving along and everything. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. Can you message me again? I can't seem to find you again when I'm looking for you. Can you do that, please? Appreciate it. In the meantime, I will be back on Monday, which, by the way, is only tomorrow night. For mental mind treatments, we'll start approximately at 7 o'clock. Okay. You take care, enjoy, and remember, believe. Thanks now.